Hello, friends, and welcome to another video lesson from BBOS Talks. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe and click the bell so that you can be notified of new uploads. This video is in the playlist called Serious Fun with SQL, and here we'll be learning how to know the execution time of an SQL command or time the execution in SQL. When we say execution time, that refers to the total time used for the database to execute your SQL command and display the output. We will not go into deep, but instead we'll be looking at two ways how we can get this information. So if you are using SQL Developer, which is the GUI tool we are looking at right now, the one we're using right now in this video is called SQL Developer of Oracle, then you will have no problem because the execution time will be automatically displayed at the completion of the execution of the command, of the SQL command. Like for instance, if we have this command select asterisk from employees, so since you're using SQL Developer, this tool, this GUI tool, then it will be displayed to you by default. So when I have this command and I execute this, you will see here, just above the grid, it says here, all rows fetched 7, meaning 7 rows in 0.006 seconds. So there's even an accuracy of up to the milliseconds, right? So I didn't have to issue a special command to be able to get that kind of information, but automatically at the end of the execution of the command, it will just display the time, the elapsed time, the time taken for the database to execute the command, as well as to get the results and get them displayed in front of you. Okay, so 0.006. Now, this is, if you notice, my select statement has no where condition. Now, why am I saying that? Because you will look at this difference. So I will just mark it here. Here it took 0.006 seconds, right? Now, if I will just add a couple of where conditions to this select statement we've just used, so select asterisk from employees, where depth ID equals IT and select civil status equals M. And then if I execute that, you will notice that the time, elapsed time is different. Okay, 0, point. No. Okay, 0.003. Now there's a different reason for that. Okay, let me just show you there. It's here, 0. So if you'll notice, every time you execute a command, the execution time may vary actually. And one is because of the nature of Oracle, wherein it has what is called execution plan. And once the database has executed a command one time at least, it will remember that, put it in some memory. And then the next time it executes the same command, it recognizes that and will be able to perform faster. But generally, the more work conditions you add to a select statement, the longer it will take. That's just the logical, natural way of things, how they go, how they will happen. Okay, again, the more complicated the select statement will be, especially if it involves multiple joins between different tables, multiple tables, and multiple where conditions, then naturally the execution time will just naturally just exponentially increase. Okay, so now you've seen that in using Oracle SQL Developer, you'll be able to get that information automatically, meaning the elapsed time or the execution time, which is just displayed right above the grid, which is the data grid over there, and above the column headings, you have the time. Now, what if you don't have SQL Developer at your workplace, and what you have is an Oracle tool called SQL Plus or SQL Plus, which is the one you're looking at right now. So this is the classic, if you might say, SQL tool of Oracle before the GUI tool came along. All right. So SQL Plus, sometimes called SQL Plus. So what if you have this? Then there is also a way to get the timing, the execution time of an SQL command using SQL Plus, although it's not graphic. So for starters, you will have to issue this command just before everything. So it's not case sensitive. Also, you don't need a terminator like a semicolon. It's a command which is, as well as many others, set commands that are more for SQL Plus. Although they work within SQL Developer because of being also an Oracle product. So set timing on, again, not case sensitive, and it doesn't need a terminator like a semicolon. Okay, so you just execute this. And then when you execute your select statement, like this, I'll just paste it here. So it, of course, it will give you the output. And at the very bottom of the screen of your session, you will see this elapsed. Okay, elapsed time, meaning the first two zeros are referring to the hour value, elapsed time. After the colon, the minute. After that, the seconds. And after that, the decimal values, which are less than 1 second. All right. Now you will notice that the value of this is practically zero, and with not even a millisecond precision being displayed there. In fact, it cannot be millisecond. It is only up to the hundredths, as compared to what you have seen in SQL Developer. This is because SQL Plus measures timing at the second level, second. It's depending, of course, on the version of the SQL Plus you have, or the database you have. This means that, so again, at the second level only, up to here. So meaning if the value of the elapsed time is sub-second, less than 1 second, it will not be displayed, to be a zero. But if you have a value which is 1 or more seconds, then you will see a non-zero value being displayed in here. Again, remember, there are two ways of, at least there could be more, there really are more, but there are two basic ways of getting the execution time of an SQL command in Oracle. If you're using the Oracle SQL Developer tool, which we have used earlier here, where's that? Then you will just see it automatically right above the grid, right above the column heading, okay? And if you're using SQL Plus, otherwise known as SQL Plus, then you will need to issue at the very beginning, one time during your session, the command set timing on, which is not case sensitive and doesn't need a terminator. And then after that, you can, within your session, you can issue or execute your SQL command as many times as you can, as you want, within that session, if you know what I mean. And then after the completion of the execution of that SQL command, you will see the elapsed time at the bottom. And again, it's zeros right here because the elapsed time is sub-second, sub 1 second. All right. So if you have an elapsed time which is 1 second or greater, then you will see a non-zero value in here. Okay, thank you for watching and listening. I hope you learned something from this short video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe and click the bell. I'll be seeing you in the next video.